Right, similar test but with steam motors and Bruno the ironbright. Making 15 tonnes of steam carriages, 15 tonnes of steam motors. My stock is hovering 653, 654. I then replace ferrous with Bruno. Should be giving me an extra 5 tonnes of steam motors. And my steam motor stat should go up. As you can see, I'm now making 20 instead of 15. And it's climbing. I'm now going to pause some motor assembly lines to bring it down to 15 tonnes a minute of production. Again, 15 tonnes producing around 10 tonnes from the cabs and 5 tonnes from Bruno. 659, 660. So this should stay constant. That looks pretty stable, around 659, 660 to me. Now, if I connect these two roads so that the cab assembly lines can pick up straight from the motor lines, does that affect the production? Does that now start the stock of steam motors dropping? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Right, it looks like this is a bug with extra goods, and when the producing factory for the input goods is located in geographical proximity of the final producing building. You can see my stock is slowly dropping. If you check the production statistics, I should still be making net zero in essence. I'm going to leave this run for a minute or two. And as you can see, my stock has dropped around 10 in that short time. So down to 650, and I will now force the cab assembly lines to pick up from the storehouses. Again, you can see now the stock stays constant. So there is... Ooh. I know, they're just regular fluctuations. Around 650. As you can see, it's still at 650. Make the roads again. As you can see, it's slowly creeping down, hovering around 648 now. 647, 646. So this definitely appears to have the same issue. Now I believe this is related to what originally brought me to this bug, which was using two of these people in one trade union. Just going to quickly show you my sugar production. Is that no, I am bringing some sugar in, but I think the trade route is paused. Yeah. So pause this trade route. I'll suck up some of my sugar so that I'm not at max levels. Down to around 1500. Balance my sugar production.
I can teach you how it works.
Alright. First of all, change off Charlotte. Balance my sugar production up to 75 tonnes a minute. Note that these are a huge geographical distance away from the producing buildings, so the previous bug I've described will not be impacting these. Slight overproduction. $75 tonnes in, 75 tonnes out. Put this back in, so we're hovering around 1500 to make 100 tonnes a minute of chocolate. Now this tends to fluctuate plus minus 5 from the value due to the amount of goods that can be in transit or picked up at one time, but staying constant around 1500. If we look at the production statistics, 75 out to 75, that makes sense. Now some of these are definitely coming from Gennaro, although this would not work if I then moved my sugar over to in range of the chocolate factories, which I proved yesterday. So you can see we're conclusively hovering at 1500. If I change Elmer's oven, which is a plus 40% productivity boost, to Charlotte the Chocoholic, which is again plus 40%, so the productivity doesn't change, but I should be getting 1 out of 4 sugars, an extra 1 out of 4 sugars. You can see the production fly out, show just one coming out. Replace her, and you can see instantly we start going to the 2 sugars each time. Check the sugar production stats, and we're apparently making 20 tonnes extra, and that makes sense. That's 25%, 1 out of 4 of the 75 tonnes is 19. But you can see the sugar stock does not increase at all. Regardless of if we have the 40% plus 1 out of 4 sugar, or just straight 40%. No change in the sugar, no change in the actual sugar stock. The production still says 75. Change back over to Charlotte. Up to 94, but no actual change in stock. Now this isn't particularly a bug with Charlotte. I believe this is due to having 2 of the bonus goods being rerouted back in as an input good effect. If I change Gennaro for Ferrous, another straight 50% boost. You can see again, back down to 1 extra sugar in the production flyouts. Back down to 75 out to 75 sugar. And no change. So it doesn't matter which one is in or not. It's not an issue that's specific to either Charlotte or Gennaro. It's purely the presence of having both in. I should be making an extra 19 tons a minute of sugar when adding this guy in or her, yet the stock level doesn't change. If I change them both to a non-producing good, you can see my sugar level starts to drop as I am only making 56 out of 75 tons. Back into the 80s now. Add 1 back in. And we'll hover around 83, 84. Change to Charlotte. Still hovering around 83, 84, but again we have the 2 production flyouts. So only one of these extra goods effects can be active at one time. I haven't checked if I am actually increasing my rum stock.
Hold the crane.
These guys are going to be sucking it up. Yeah, rum is going up as it should. Change to ferrous. Rum stays constant. All the while, no change in sugar, even though we've gone from
I can't wait to start work.
meeting the requirement exactly to producing 20 tons a minute extra. So even when Gennaro doesn't give the extra sugar, even though it says he is, you are still getting the overall effect, which is the plus rum as well. Interesting.